Introducing the 3 new slimes of Ocean Range. Coca, Mesmer, Hermit slimes. These slimes can be found commonly throughout the mainland of the island, each of them having unique abilities and behaviors that any rancher would want. You can read more about them in my Discord page or the community page. Now that I introduce you to the new slimes, let's get into the update. What the Tarrnation update will be a rework of the enemy system. Tarrs will still be the main enemy of the game, but with a twist. For every larticle that is transformed will be carried on into the Tarr. Before, Tarrs were seen as rounded blobs of oil. It now has a distinctive form with new abilities. Those abilities vary from the larticle that was transformed from. For example, if a Mesmer Coca larticle is transformed into a Tarr, the abilities of both slimes will be used against the player. Mesmer's abilities to hypnotize and the Coca to throw itself at others. Now, what about slimes that are consumed and turned into Tarrs? Will those traits be carried on to the clones? Yes. If a Tarr eats a normal slime, that Tarr will only have a single ability from that eaten slime. If it eats a larticle, then both traits will be carried over to that Tarr. Make sense? With the introduction of new Tarr forms, what about defeating them? It is the same. If you have water, you can easily stop them. However, if the Tarr notices you first, there is a 50% chance it will dodge your attack. If you keep missing, the AI will become smarter and start attacking your fatback, ultimately destroying it, leaving you nothing to defend yourself. So it is important to attack a Tarr first before it noticing you. What about if you have not built the fatback yet? One idea I thought of is to build water balloons that you can throw. What about if you have not built any of those things? Just run. Only thing you can really do is lure the Tarr in a stream of water. After all, Tarrs are more interested in eating the player than the surrounding slimes. There's another thing you need to keep in mind when encountering a Tarr. Taint. Taint is a disease that is deadly to humans and slimes. Once bitten, swirl markings will spread across your body. If not treated fast enough, the player will face low stamina, illusions, and eventually a knockout. Water so far is the only thing that slows the infection, but not a cure. Building a gel wrap that when filled with water will allow you to travel without worrying too much of the spread. In later expansions, there will be a cure. Slimes can also be affected by the taint. If a slime survives a Tarr outbreak and was touched by a Tarr, they will become a tainted pharaoh. Eventually, tainted pharaohs will have a higher BG gauge, and their roar will cause nearby slimes to become feral, making them a challenge to capture. When captured, the tainted pharaoh will have low agitation and no interest in eating. You will have to store this slime in a storage unit until you find a cure. Got this idea from Pokemon Gale of Darkness, where you can collect shadow Pokemon to cure them. This system will also work for the sea Tarr, but I will get into that in a later update. Another idea is that Gordos can also be tainted, where at one point they will attack your base and you need to stop them. How? I am still trying to figure that out. I thought it would be a cool raid boss to encounter. So yeah, this update will rework the system to where the Tarr is more intimidating to challenge, where you need to use your wits to outsmart. Not sure how this idea holds up in gameplay, but the idea of Tarr taking forms of different slimes sounds cool. Up next is a rework of the story mode I have been developing. Any criticism is welcome. It all started 70 years ago, when Dora West was young. She worked for the corporation as a custom border patrol head officer of trade. She was responsible for ensuring that any traded goods from the far range to Earth were secure. However, the job became increasingly stressful due to the high rate of illegal slime smuggling. The poachers were getting bolder and cleverer every week. Many of these slimes came from the Great Wreath, rosy slimes, as well as other aquatic slimes, were highly sought after for their aging, rejuvenating properties. Despite strict laws against illegal poaching, the situation reached a point where many sea slimes would go extinct if the government did not take action soon. Tired of innocent slimes being forcibly taken from their natural habitat, Thora took action herself. She worked with Shelly Seiko, an assistant science engineer in the weapons division. Shelly had been assigned to create an EMP device that disabled any nearby electrical devices. It was meant to protect locals from their electrical devices being sapped by feral quicksilver slimes. However, she soon learned that her gadget would instead be used by the military against civilians on Earth who did not comply. Not wanting her work to be used on innocent lives, she collaborated with Thora to create a plan to smuggle the device to the island. Thanks to Thora's high status as head officer of trade, they managed to smuggle the device onto a plane programmed to drop the device into 4 main areas of the island, 3 on the mainland and 1 deep underground in the Grey Reef where no one would reach it. With the devices implanted across the island, there was little chance that poachers would even locate the island again. Unfortunately, the corporation soon found out about what they had done. But instead of both taking the blame, Shelly was the one to be held accountable as they had agreed. Thora had to watch as her dear friend stood trial. Shelly was sentenced to be deported back to Earth, her license stripped away, never to step on the planet again. Upset and disillusioned, Thora soon quit her job as an officer and took up a peaceful life as a rancher. Despite the circumstances, Thora kept good contact with her friend on Earth. That is the story so far. I will sprinkle in some more throughout the expansions. In the next update, I will introduce a new area, go in depth of the new building system, now that there won't be a proto market nor a plort market. Some of you are wondering what would be the point of collecting plorts now. Not to worry, dear ranchers. All that will be explained in the next update. Share your thoughts down below of this cool idea. Remember, this is just a proof of concept, not the actual mod itself. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like always, stay weekly.